So we're going to continue today with polygons on the coordinate plane. Instead of doing perimeter like yesterday, we're going to expand and do area. I'm on page 707 in the textbook, if you want to follow along with me. Because we're doing area today and some of the lines are slanted, you're going to need grid paper or some kind of graph paper for all of it. The good thing, all of the problems in the book are on graph paper, or they provide a little section of graph paper for you. But remember, you also have desmos.com. And I did put a link to that in the stream of Google Classroom, so you always have that available to you. All right, so let's look at this. They've given me this shape. I don't really have a name for a shape like this. This is called a composite figure, and we'll talk more about that in the coming days. Now, you could count the boxes. Unfortunately, you've got some not full boxes here. You've got one that, has a little sliver missing, and then this is only a little sliver. It kind of looks like maybe we could swing that down and make a full one, but I just don't know for sure. But what I can do, you see where this dotted line is, I can split this shape into things that I have formulas for. So you see the bottom shape is a rectangle, length times width, and the top shape is a trapezoid, 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. We have to find the numbers for our sides. We can do that by counting. So I'll do the rectangle in purple, which probably doesn't look so purple to you. It's just kind of a darker pen color. So looking at this side, this looks like it's 2 high. And looking at my horizontal side here, it looks like it's 5 wide. So remember, the area for rectangles is length times width. So we can simply do 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. It doesn't matter. So that part takes up 10 square units. All right, then we'll switch to the trapezoid up top. And if you remember, we need bases and we need height. So the height is perpendicular. That's going to be 2. The base up top, we'll call it, I guess, base 1. That'll be 3. And the base on the bottom will be 4. So they put the information in here, 1/2 times a height of 2 times the base is added, 3 plus 4. So 1/2 of 2 is 1. This turns out to be 1 times 7. So there are 7 squares in this trapezoid. Now, I guess that little piece did come down and make it there. So when we put them together, I have 10 from this, and I have 7 from that. And when I put them together, the entire thing covers 17 square units. All right, when we get to a shape like this, it's a parallelogram. I don't need to break that up. I have a formula for that. So if you remember, area of a parallelogram is base times height. I did my cursive B. So we'll look across the bottom. If I start here and I go 1, 2, 3 jumps, and then remember, I want height to be perpendicular. It is not the slanted side. So the height here, the top line is there and the bottom line is there. Between those two is 2 jumps. So my height is 2 and my base is 3. We can multiply them together. It doesn't matter, 2 times 3, 3 times 2. This is going to give me 6 square units. Now, if I knew this was inch by inch, I would say square inches. If it was feet by feet, it would be square feet. But because we don't know, we just call it units squared. All right, so this is kind of like an application of the area formulas that we did in the last section. All right, we're going to turn the page to 708. So the figure has vertices. Remember, that's the plural of vertex, which means corner. So the corners are at 2, 5. Go over 2, go up 5, make your dot, label it A. B, which is over 2, up 8, make your dot, label it B. And C, over 5, up 8, make your dot. Connect them all. It is a right isosceles triangle, and we're going to find the area. Really, we only needed to know that it was a triangle. So I know the formula for a triangle is 1/2 base height. If you didn't know that, you could go look it up on the formula sheet. This side from point A to point B is 3. From point B to point C is 3. I don't need to know the slanted side because I already have my base and my height, even though the triangle's turned upside down. That is still the base and the height because this would be our right angle. Those are perpendicular. So 1/2 times 3 times 3. This would be 9 cut in half, which means it's a 4.5 square unit triangle. Now, if you wanted to prove that, chop this little triangle off here and fill it in down here. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Now I've got 4 because I filled that in. And this one is about 1/2. 4.5. That's what we found. Okay, one more got it, and then I'm going to let you go do some on your own. Now notice they've given us the graph paper over here. We're lucky it's only in quadrant 1. So we're going to graph this, classify it, which means name the type of shape, and then find the area. Okay, so side to side 3, up and down 3, make a dot, call it A. Side to side 3, up and down 6, make a dot, call it B. Over 5, up 6, make a dot, call it C. And over 8, up 3, make a dot and call it D. Connect your dots. We'll classify that as a trapezoid. And then I can use my formula, area equals 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. My height is going to be 3. My bases are going to be 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll do 1/2 times 3 times 2 plus 5. So this turns into 7. 7 plus 3 is 21. 21 cut in half is 10.5 square units. And that's it.